Alhamdulillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlilhu fala hadiya lahu. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam tabaraka wa sallama tasliman kasiran kasira amma ba'd. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Aman ahsanu qawlan mimman da'a ilallah wa amila salihah wa qala innani minal muslimin. My dear brothers and respected elders and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala love us and He loves His creations. The reason as to why He loves His creation, because He has created them, nourished them, sustained them. So it is very unlikely, Allah wants us to enter the hellfire, to create us and then to throw us into the hellfire. No. Why should He? He loves us, He has created us, He has nourished us, sustained us. He wants us to enter paradise. So of course He has to be just. What happened if the men do not want to become obedient? Where should He place them? Surely He has to make the hellfire. The hellfire is meant for those who are unwilling or who are ungrateful, who are ungrateful and therefore unwilling to obey, stubbornly unwilling. So there should be a place for them. They cannot be made to enter paradise. So Allah created the hellfire for them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually want to make us to return to paradise. He has created Adam and Hawa and then placed both of them in paradise. When Adam and Hawa transgressed the order of Allah which He has given to them, to both of them, you don't eat this fruit, that's all. You can eat all others, whatever you want to eat in paradise. But when Adam and Hawa disobeyed that order, he has no reason to stay in paradise. Paradise is not for disobedience people. So he has to be thrown out from paradise. And the best place for them to be is in this earth. So Allah says there will be nothing will harm you or nothing will be of any problem to you if you follow my orders. I will guide you. If you follow, you obey, then you will be able to return back to paradise. So we are created so that we will be able to return back to paradise, the place where we used to be, our forefathers, Adam and Hawa. So essentially we are for paradise, not for hellfire. But we are the one who have chosen to be thrown into the hellfire. So Rasulullah says, everyone will enter paradise if they want. So they say we all want. None want to go to hellfire. But what Rasulullah meant is, for those who want from their hearts, not from their mouth. Now we all want to enter paradise from our mouth, not from our hearts. If we really want to enter paradise from the bottom of our heart, then we should follow the condition laid down by Allah, which will enable us to enter paradise and to be saved from hellfire. That is, we have to become the true believers with the good deeds. We cannot enter paradise only having iman only, or able to recite the great kalima and we don't do anything else more than that. Only recite the kalima and that's it. And occasionally we pray. It never mentioned in the Quran that a person who recite the kalima will enter paradise, saved from hellfire. Or those believers who are not able to attain the level of iman to the level which Allah is pleased, will be able to enter paradise and save from hell. What has been mentioned in the Quran, throughout the Quran, the one who is successful or safe from the torment of hellfire is the true believer with good deeds. So these are not understood, Very few people are telling this, or almost none. None among the ustad and the so-called scholars of Islam. They say, do this, you got Jannat, do this, you get this, Jannat, all this. The person who are not a true believer with good deeds, even if they fast, a person who is not a true believer with good deeds, even if they fast, they pray, they give dawah, or anything they do, are regarded as of no value to Allah SWT. So they will end up in hellfire. Even throughout the whole life, he is praying, but his prayers are not accepted because they are not a true believer with good deeds. Allah do not want evil deeds. Allah want good deeds. Deeds will only become good once we reach to that level of iman that He wants for us to be able to reach. Minimum at least. So everyone should become the true believer with good deeds. But what happened now? As a result of not being able to understand the Quran, our scholars didn't mention this. They say you want to enter paradise, you must do this amal, you must do this amal, you must pray. That's all. They don't realize the fact that if you are not the true believer with good deeds, if you are not the true believer, your deed will never become good. First, you must become the true believers. The true believers is not only having iman or reciting the kalima. You must reach to the level of iman which Allah loved or Allah accepted, as as a person who have a true faith towards Him. So these are not being profusely being mentioned by all the scholars when they give lecture. Do they? They don't. They just say you do this amal, this time do this amal, do this fasting. So everybody during the 10 Ramadan, the 10 Muharram, they fast. Because it's sunnah, isn't it? Even those who don't pray. The night of 15 Shaban, they will say Yasin, read Yasin. Mal Hijrah, they do this, do that, thinking that their amal is sure to be accepted. Amal which are accepted are good deeds, and good deed will never come from a person who have only iman, but will come from the true believers. That means attaining the level of iman which Allah is pleased, then you become the true believers. If you don't attain the level of iman, which make you a true believer, your deeds are not good, evil deeds. Even though you pray, you fast, you do this, you do that. So it's a misunderstanding. So those who are, do a lot of praying, fasting, reading Quran, thinking that they are the people of Jannah. They are not, if they don't become the true believers with good deeds. This ayat, Wal Asri, is a exemplary verse of the Quran. Mentions specifically that the one who are successful is only the true believers with good deeds. Wal Asri innal insana lafi khusr. Allah says, I swear with time, all men are at loss. Loss means enter hellfire, except, see, true believers, illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salih. Illa alladhina amanu wa amilu. Okay, except those who believe and having good deeds. So Sufyan is not a true believer with the good deeds. Now, he used to, after he lost his iman. Similarly with Rashidi. He attained the level of the true believer with the good deeds and then lost his iman. Then similarly as Pendi also now become not a true believer with the good deeds. These three guys, Pendi, Sufyan, Rashidi and Hanzala, they became a true believer with good deeds once upon a time. I was so happy. We make some feast to be thankful to Allah, but unfortunately these four guys ungrateful, so they lost their iman. So iman doesn't stay at one place, it always fluctuates, either increase or decrease. Most of the time decrease. So Sufyan lost his iman after he got a job working at night time, 4 o'clock in the evening, return back 3 in the morning. He doesn't pray fajar with Jamaat. All these are actions which make iman to be taken away. But we don't bother about our iman taken away, because we say, what is iman? It can be acquired. It's not easy to acquire iman. Easy to lose iman, because we have enemies with us. Say shaitan, who are always with us. Everyone has shaitan assigned. Shaitan for Rashidi, shaitan for everyone has. Aisha was surprised. Oh, everyone has, Ya Rasulullah. Yeah, Rasulullah said, including you? Yes, Rasulullah said. But my shaitan has accepted Islam. So the reason that's why we lose our iman is because our friend, the so-called friend, it's not friend, enemy, the shaitan, are always working towards making us to lose our iman. By how the shaitan will work to make us to lose our iman? By inciting us to do evil deeds, not to pray, not to give zakat, not to do dawah, not to do the work of amal ma'ruf nahi munkar, not to obey Allah orders. Once we disobey Allah orders, we committing sins. The consequences of committing sins, we lose our iman. So it can be said that the shaitan they always steal our iman. In other words, shaitan is always asking us to do things which disobey the order of Allah. So no circumstances will the shaitan invite you to obey the orders of Allah. Shaitan all the time will ask you to disobey the order of Allah. Sometimes the shaitan use Quran too, in order to invite you to disobey Allah orders. For example, they say you must listen to your mother the mother says, don't go out, don't do dawah, don't pray. And that guy say, the shaitan say, you listen to your mother. Yeah? Paradise is under the feet of mother. So they follow mother. This is the way how shaitan tell you. And the shaitan sometimes tell, don't worry, do it. Do the evil deeds, The woman is not his wife, his girlfriend. The woman asked him to, commit sexual intercourse. The man said, oh no. It's alright, we will marry. Soon we get married, no problem. So he did it. Then first time he's worried about sins. Second time is no longer. He has no fear at all. End up 8 times committing fornications. One time 100 lashes it should be. But he doesn't bother. He doesn't worry about that. Keep to himself. So this is how shaitan is, alluring people to do evils. Those handsome boy like Yazid, many girls like him, so they are tempted to do fornications, and the shaitan give many things that say, oh, it's okay, you make tawbah after this. After you commit fornication, you make tawbah. Allah is Ghafur Rahim. Allah will forgive you. So all these words has been whispered and make him to see the evil deeds as good deeds. So shaitan will always make a man to look at their evil deeds, good deeds. After they committed the evil deeds, they forget to ask Allah for forgiveness. They say, do it again. That's how many people are committing evil deeds without having the fear. Because they don't worry about their iman. Every time we commit the evil deeds, iman will be decreased. The more will be decreased. Finally, we may lose iman. If you do fornication, illegal, you lose all your iman. Basically, if you drink wines once, you lose all your iman. So iman is to be kept safe. We must work to acquire iman, and once we acquire the iman, we have to protect it from being stolen or from being diminished. We shouldn't think that, oh, I have iman, don't worry, it will stay there. No, it will not stay. It's just the same as a person who are working, acquire money, then doesn't take care of the money, just put it there. He doesn't keep it in a safety box or in the bank. Just simply put it. Surely he lost the money. He's working, earning money, but money keep on losing. So end up he got no money. So people like Sufyan, and Yazid and all these are the same. They work to acquire iman, and yet they don't bother to save their iman. At the end of the day, the iman is not there. So we have to acquire the iman, and we have to protect the iman. And our iman of today should be better than yesterday. Tomorrow should be better than today. That should be our guidelines. We should not listen to the shaitan. We should not listen to the devil. We shall never do any things which transgress the order of Allah, particularly the obligatory orders. So we must do the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people from evils. Daily, without any rest till the day we die. We have to spend 45 to 1.5 hours daily to do the local work or we go out in the path of Allah. If we don't go out in the path of Allah, we should do the local work. If we do the local work, then we don't do the work in other countries or in other towns, in other cities. In no circumstances we should be relaxed. We take leave from doing the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people from munkar, because this is the work which will make the kalima La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah to be established, or to be made, to be strengthened in our hearts, in our belief. Because the work of inviting people to good is the work of inviting people to recite the kalima of iman, kalima La ilaha illallah. That is, it means by ma'ruf. Ma'ruf means to invite people to, in ma'ruf means to invite people to recite the kalima La ilaha illallah Muhammad, the kalima iman. And when they have recited the kalima, they must do the work of inviting others to recite the kalima. Those who have recited the kalima, we remind them about the meaning of the kalima, and then inviting them to do the work which fulfill the right of the great kalima. So when they are doing the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people, at all time they are talking and listening the great kalima, the meaning of the great kalima. There is no God except Allah. That's why by doing the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people evil, iman is strengthened. If you invite people to the mosque, like the people of Tabligh, they are not dawah. They call it dawah. No. Dawah is to call people to Allah. To call people who do not recite the kalima, who have not recited the kalima, to recite the kalima. And that is dawah. To invite Muslim to pray, to come to the mosque, that is not dawah. Dawah is to invite the non-Muslim to recite the kalima, and once they have recited the kalima, to invite them to obey the orders of Allah. And the first order of Allah which they have to obey is to fulfill the right of reciting the kalima, which is the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people from evil. But what has happened now? All those who have recited kalima in the whole wide world are not fulfilling the right of reciting kalima. They are not doing the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people from evil. As a result of that, the kalima is not installed, embedded, strengthened in their hearts. And when the kalima is not strengthened, established, then the deeds will not become good deeds. So even they fast, it will not become good deeds. Even if they pray, it will not become good deeds. Even anything they do will not become good deeds. So it will be at loss. So Allah says, all men are at loss. All men will be at loss, will go to hellfire, except those who are the true believers of the good deeds. That's why many people didn't understand this surah, Wal Asri. They say, if you want to become successful, you must have 4 things. You must have iman, you must have amal, you must do watawasaw bil haq, watawasaw. It's not that. That tafseer is wrong. In this surah, it is mentioned clearly, explicitly, the one who are successful is the true believer of the good deeds. The work which we have to do, is different. In order to become the true believer of the good deeds, and the capital for doing that work is time. That is the work of watawasaw bil haq. To remind each other about the truth. To invite others to the truth. What is the truth? Truth is the main truth, ultimate truth. There is no God except Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. That is the work that we have to do. As a result of not able to understand this surah, the whole Muslims are not practicing dawah as such. Even the people who are the Tabligh They call people to mosque, they say we are doing dawah. Because they don't understand this surah. And watawassaw bis-sabr, the way you should do that work, that is, you should bear patience. What is patience? You must respond to the evil which people have done to you with good things. When someone do evil to you, you don't pay with evils. You must respond better than what he has done to you. And that's called patience. If someone scolded you, you shouldn't scold them. You should pray for them. You know. So this is what is patience. So watawassaw bis-sabr. So the ingredient of the main thing in the surah to become successful is to become people who are the true believers of good deeds. That's all. And all the whole Quran is like that. It can never be only in Surah Wal-Asri we need 4 things to become successful. All other in the Quran never mentioned. That's why people don't understand the Quran. I'm telling that the scholars, the so-called scholars, Ustad, do not know. When you don't understand the Quran, you don't obey the Quran lah. And what happens if you don't obey the Quran? You are not doing the work of Muhammad SAW. And certainly Allah will not accept your amal. If you are not a true believer of the good deeds, even you fast throughout your life, pray, you will not be accepted. You know, Rashidi, he is not a true believer of the good deeds. Even his prayer is not accepted. He's praying, every day is praying. Pray with me, pray in Jalan, but it's not accepted. Why? He is not a true believer of the good deeds. So the first thing we must do is to become the true believer of the good deeds. The first thing. When we entered Islam or when we embrace Islam, we must make the kalima which we have uttered to be installed inside our heart to the level which Allah is pleased. In order to do that, the first work we have to do after embracing Islam is not praying. Is to do the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people from evil. Or the work of dawah, or the work of inviting people to recite the kalima, the non-Muslim. So many non-Muslim, they embrace Islam, and the Muslims say, now you pray. They don't ask him to do the work of dawah, as they are not doing. Why they are asking the non-Muslim to do pray? Because they think prayer is the first order of Allah after reciting the kalima. That is not true. Very untrue. For the first 10 years, Nabi Sallam and the companions are out doing the work of dawah. They don't pray 5 times. It was not revealed. It was revealed on the 10th year. How could you say to the non-Muslim, after reciting kalima, you pray now? Even history also tell, Allah do not reveal the order of salat on the first, when Nabi Sallam started to preach Islam, the first order revealed to him is not salat. Is it? So the first order revealed to him when he come home after meeting Jibril, you lie down. Then Jibril came again to him and say, Qum fa'anzir, ya ayyuhal mudassir. Qum fa'anzir. Oh, one who wraps his upon a blanket, wake up. Qum fa'anzir wa rabbaka fakabbir. Declare to people Allah is great. What is that? Declare to people Allah is great. This is the work of inviting people to kalima la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. It's not praying. Ya ayyuhal mudassir qum fa'anzir wa rabbaka fakabbir wa siyabaka fatahhir. And then the next one, ya ayyuhal muzammil. All those who sleep in the night, wake up and pray. Pray tahajjud, not 5 times. So my dear brothers, these are the 2 orders that we must do making gas, dawah of kalimah in the daytime, in the night time to pray tahajjud, to make dua, to ask Allah to give us iman and rest of the people iman too. And these are the one which we should not, leave. This order of gash, making jawla, inviting people to kalimah, to recite kalimah, and praying at the night, which is made obligatory to Nabi Salam. Was not made obligatory to us to pray at night, but we must regard it as if it is obligatory if we want, Allah to put the iman inside our hearts. That's why Sufyan did not bother about waking up for tahajjud. Sufyan Malik. Do you bother? Why? I keep on telling you repeatedly that you must pray tahajjud, but you don't. You just want to pray fajar only. You won't be able to attain a level of iman of that height, because you worry about your sleep more than worry about your iman. So in the Quran is mentioned, those who are believers, they sleep less at the night. They don't say sleep more, sleep less. Why? They spend their time in prayer. They cry to Allah, they make dua. In the daytime, they go to people, invite people to Allah. These are the work which all new Muslims should do if you want to become the true believers of good deeds. But every Muslim, either the true new Muslim or old Muslim, both are not doing the work of inviting people to Allah, not praying tahajjud, not even praying. Some are praying only the 5 times and saying this is enough for me, it's too much. So once you do, your iman does not increase, to pray 5 times become very difficult. But once you attain high level of iman, then very high level of iman, then it's a pleasure to pray 5 times a day. When you attain khushu in your prayer, then you become pleasurable to pray 5 times a day. But if you have no khushu, how to attain pleasure in your prayer? So naturally you won't. So religion become hard, difficult, stressful, because of the reason, because of the weak iman. Why we have weak iman? We are not doing the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people from evil, and the whole problem goes in cycle. When you pray, you get tired, then you stop, then you start again, and then you stop. Everything in cycle. At the end, you gain nothing other than tiredness. Okay.